To get started with the quote tool, we can choose My Quotes or New Quote. Under My Quotes, we have the ability to see quotes that we have created. From here we can modify a quote, view the details of a quote, or generate a proposal for a customer. We'll start by clicking New Quote to get started. The first step is to choose subscriber lines. Enter a quantity in the box. Generally, a subscriber line will be a device that needs to be activated. Subscriber lines can be phones, intercoms, paging units, etc. Here we can see the monthly recurring price per subscriber line, and we can adjust the price here if needed. If we want to see a total price, we can come back up, click Update, and now see the total MRC for the subscriber lines. Click Next to continue. In this step, we want to choose how many subscriber lines and which ones will be used for low usage, if any. If none, we can just click Next to go to the next step. If there are low usage lines, which are generally classrooms, lobbies, meeting rooms, that sort of thing, any phone that doesn't get regular use, we can enter the quantity here. So if we have a classroom phone and an overhead paging unit, we'll enter one for each of those and click Next. In the phone screen, we need to make sure that before we leave this screen, our unassigned lines equals 0. So we need to choose hardware for every one of our subscriber lines. If a customer is providing existing phones or buying their own hardware, we would put that number here. Otherwise, we will choose from the existing selections. We'll go ahead and choose one soft phone, one ATA, and 8 VBX 500s with PoE. We can also adjust the pricing for each phone. If we go lower than the minimum, it will automatically bring the price back up to the minimum price that you can charge. Now we can see that our unassigned subscriber lines equals 0, so we may move on to the next step. Keep in mind, this is only a hardware selection screen. Later on, in the quote process, you will have the opportunity to choose between Flex 40 pricing, rental, and outright purchase. Click Next to continue. In this step, we have the opportunity to choose a 3-year warranty for all of the Polycom hardware that we chose in the previous step. The standard Polycom warranty is 1 year. To extend it to 3 years, check the 3-year warranty box. This is $20 per device. You can see our total price is $160 for the 8 Polycom phones we chose in the previous step. Click Next to continue. This step requires us to choose the number of trunk lines we want to add to the system. A trunk line is essentially a call path in or out of the system. When I place an outbound call, that utilizes one trunk line. When I receive an inbound call, that also utilizes a trunk line. Our typical recommended ratio is 1 trunk line to 3 subscriber lines. That means for a 10-phone install, it's going to automatically suggest that we add 3 trunk lines to the system. In this case, I want 4 trunk lines for my customer. A call center may need 10 trunk lines for 10 subscriber lines, so it can vary greatly based on the business model. Choose what is best for your customer. Once we've chosen our trunk lines, if I click Update, down towards the bottom, I can now see the total price per trunk line and the total recurring price for the number of trunk lines that I've chosen. Click Next to continue. The activation fee step allows us to choose the price that we want to charge for activating each device. A recommended baseline is $50, but you can change this to whatever you want. If we click Update, we can now see that we have a quantity of 10 devices and a total of $750 for activation. 100% of this fee is paid back to you as the partner in the form of commission. You can see examples of the services typically provided by partners for the activation fees by clicking this link. Click Next to continue. In this step, we need to decide whether or not we want to charge the customer for monthly premium support. The premium support box comes checked by default, so if we do not want to charge the customer additional monthly for premium support, we need to uncheck this box. If we click this link, we can see some examples of premium support services that partners charge for. FreedomVoice suggests a baseline of about $10 per device and automatically includes a proposed pricing of $100 based on our 10 subscriber lines. You can change this to any amount that you want. 90% of this monthly fee gets paid back to you as a partner in commission. Click Next to continue. Next, we need to choose the number of local numbers that we're porting to the FreedomVoice service. In the first box, we want to enter the number of ported numbers, again local numbers, that will be replacing FreedomVoice main numbers and DIDs. So in this case, if we have one main number and 10 subscriber lines, we will have a total of 11 numbers that we will be replacing. So if we are porting 11 numbers, we'll go ahead and put 11 in there. And each one of these are free of charge. Now numbers not replacing FreedomVoice main numbers or DIDs are an additional $10 per month. Let's go ahead and add 2 here. And then additional numbers, special use case numbers like for faxing or additional auto attendance, can be entered here. Let's say we have 2. If we click Update, we can scroll down and we can see the monthly recurring price per number and our total price. Click Next to continue. Now we'll choose the number of toll-free numbers we're going to use with FreedomVoice. If we're porting numbers, we would enter the quantity here. If it's a new toll-free number, any toll-free number, we can enter the number here. If we want a true 800 number, we would enter the quantity here. And if we just want a new vanity number, a toll-free number that spells something, we would enter the quantity here. In this case, we'll put 0 toll-free numbers and click Next. In the Advanced Features step, we can choose options like 411 directory access, call recording, caller ID inbound and outbound, enhanced call detail reporting, voicemail transcription, plugins for popular CRMs, and API access. Choose any one of these options and click Next to continue. FreedomVoice stresses the importance of having the proper router and proper network setup with QoS. In this step, we want to acknowledge the importance of having a proper router installed on the customer network. We provide a list of recommended devices that we've tested extensively with FreedomVoice and confirm have the proper type of routing and QoS. We do have an additional document that can be found here that goes over additional hardware that we have tested and certified. Check the box to acknowledge the importance of having a proper router installed on the customer network and click Finish to go to the next step. Here we have the summary screen. The first thing we typically want to do is name our quote. The default name is quote created on. Typically I want to change this to the company name and leave the date and timestamp in place. Next we have our total cost, and we want to set an estimated close date, which I'll set for about a week out, and an estimated started billing date. Our start billing date will typically be our installation date or whenever we want to start billing the customer. Next, we can edit the configuration, delete it, or scroll down and review it. Next, we want to enter telephone area code and prefix information for the type of numbers that we want set up. So for main numbers, we want to enter our area code, and then in the right hand side, the prefix. Keep in mind that you may not always get the exact area code or exact prefix that you've chosen, but we will get the closest available. Next, we want to enter the area code and prefix of the DIDs. These are the numbers that will be associated with the subscriber lines or the activated phones. And then we also want to enter any other local numbers that we want in addition to our main number or DIDs. Area code and again prefix. Next, we'll enter our sales rep information. This would be the partner information. First name, last name, and phone number. Now keep in mind, how we format these phone numbers and names are exactly how they will show up on the quote. So if we have no dashes in between our phone number will look like this on the quote. So typically we want to have proper formatting in our quote. Capitalized first name, capitalized last name, etc. The same goes for the customer physical location. All of this information will show up in the quote exactly as we type it. Next, we'll set up a ship to address. Again, formatting is important. And we can put any notes associated with the order. Once we're done, we can scroll to the top and click Save as Quote. Now our quote will be saved for future lookup. This usually takes about 10 to 20 seconds to process the quote. We get a confirmation that our quote was created successfully. From here we can view detail of the quote or continue and generate a proposal for the customer. Clicking on Generate Proposal will take us to the next step. From here we can see our document name, our proposal name, and typically I'm going to want to clean this up a little bit because it does default with the date and time. So I'll just go ahead and put the company name in because this is what the customer will see. So we don't have to touch culture either. That's basically the language. From here, we can choose content that we want to attach to the quote that the customer will get. Here's our purchase phone pricing. This is the main part of our quote, so we will want to choose that as well. If we want to include Flex 40 pricing, we can do that by checking this box. FreedomVoice overview of the company. Polycom PBX comparison guide. We can include rental phone pricing. Advanced features data sheet. And then toll-free and local number transfer forms if applicable. From here we can open the proposal and take a look at it. And this will show us exactly what will be sent to our customer. I'll go ahead and close my proposal. If I'm satisfied with it, I will click Email Proposal. And this gives me an optional way to email the proposal if I'm in a pinch and I don't have access to do it any other way. But typically, what I would do is download the proposal, or click Open, which will download it, and from there send it from my own email program. That way it has my signature, company information, and so on. That concludes our quote tutorial. Thank you for watching.